All right, welcome back. We are on episode 8. We just finished up talking to the folks in the Arapahoe Garage, and we're going to continue with the downtown Colorado Springs on getting some more NPC dialogue. So jumping right on in.
No time. Come on, pal. Pull through. Too many patients, not enough people who give a shit. Get up already. No time.
Hey, Doc.
Quan, hope you won't take offense, but I've got no time for niceties. Dying people take precedence.
Understood, brother. Come on, Rangers. Didn't you hear him? He's busy.
There are people literally dying around you, and you want me to ignore them to put a few band-aids on you? Fine. I'll take a look for cash.
So if we had $20, an option would show up here to actually spend it.
Don't like my prices? Too bad.
But because of our investment in Marshall Kwan, we don't have that money.
Good. No.
Told you he was prickly.
Okay, so here's what I suggest you do on this. Go into your inventory, go to your consumables, usable items, drop the med packs, the suture kit, and your injury kits. Okay. There is unique dialogue associated with picking these particular items up once we start the quest that the Dr. Parker has. Depending on who's in your group, it depends on who's going to speak those lines. So without Lucia Wesson, the lines will be spoken by Marshall Kwan, and if Lucia Wesson is in the group with us, even though Marshall Kwan is in the group, she's the one that'll be speaking those particular lines. And I'm not sure whether or not I can get Marshall Kwan to speak the lines, then drop the items again, and then get Lucia Wesson to speak the lines later, but we're going to try to do that. So don't worry about throwing things on the ground. The game is really good at keeping track of where things are. So these items will remain here, as far as I know, the entire game until you go back and pick them up. So you're not losing anything by putting anything on the ground, even keys. So drop that on the ground, and then we'll go back in here and talk. There are four injured people. These other three here on the right-hand side, the badly bleeding man, the unconscious woman, or nearly unconscious woman, and the severely injured man, those are going to be part of the quest, so you don't have to worry about doing anything with them right now.
Hope you won't take offense, but I've got no time for niceties. Dying people take precedence. Yeah.
And I always hit the ending dialogue that gets you out of the chat, because sometimes when you go into the next chat with him, there may be new lines that they say if you use the exit chat, whatever goodbye in this instance was that, but sometimes they actually have new dialogue lines when you click on them again.
Hope you won't take offense, but I've got no time for niceties. Dying people take precedence. They're in bad shape, and I don't have the time or tools to save them.
Since we are a barter, our main guy has barter, and this is one of the reasons why I chose to, eh, have barter on one of my main characters as a standard. But
You have the ability to save lives, and you want to get tipped for it? Assholes. Fine. Save them, and I'll pay you. But don't expect us to be pals after.
now that line leads you to believe that something negative will be, on the way for this choice, but I never saw what that negative consequence was. It might come much later in the game, but as far as I know, this is just, something said that never actually has any kind of consequence to it.
Thank you. The things I need most are a suture kit, an injury kit, and a medic pack. Got that? These folks are literally dying on us, so don't fuck around. We'll talk more when you come back.
All right, at this point, you can talk to Doc Parker, and you'll be able to actually get healed here. Right now, like every time you need healing, you can get healed here. But the quest, Top Doc, um, it's like a gateway quest. Although it does say secondary mission. Once you complete that quest, other quests start opening up. So, if you wait and don't complete it and use Doc Parker to heal your party while you fight other fights in this city, it kind of delays some of the quests from popping up. So what I generally do is I don't complete this quest. I keep him here until I'm done actually needing him to patch me up. But you can talk to him now.
What now? Now I can. Sure. Okay. You're good.
All right, so see, he'll patch you up without charging you anything. So, he's not as prickly as he was before you accepted the quest.
Good luck. What now? Long as you don't mind if I keep working while we talk. Dorsey attack. Maybe you heard about it. A suture kit, a medical pack, and an injury kit. Then use them to fix up the other patients. Name's Parker. Plenty of doctors in Colorado Springs. I'm one of them.
Well, that doc's underselling himself as always. Ask anyone. They'll tell you. Parker's the best in town. Used to be the Patriarch's personal doctor.
That would be a heck of a recommendation if you were looking for a babysitter. Just wish I had enough medicine to keep this clinic going. Running out of everything. That's an awful charitable spin on what actually happened. But I'm afraid I don't have time to tell you the real story. We used to beat each other up when we were boys. You get to know somebody pretty well when you fight them a few hundred times.
That was always Arapaho kids versus townie kids. Parker was the only Arapaho who put up a good fight.
Till I grew up and hit the books. Figured I couldn't make a career of beating people senseless. Quan found a way to do it, though. Sure. There are people dying right here, right now, and you're trying to get me to leave? What the hell are you thinking?
So in general in this game, they do a good job of making sure that the characters and their outfits look good. This is one of the few times if you see on Doc Parker on the right side that there's some tearing. They didn't get the I don't know the technical word for it in programming, but they just didn't get his outfit correct. You can see the pants kind of going through the lab coat there. That's something they should have been fixed. I don't know, it's just lazy programming.
Good luck.
There's always something breaking.
Now, interesting thing about Theodoric Curie, he has several lines, but he does not act like any other NPC in this game. Once he says one line, you can go right back up to him, and he doesn't say another line again. But I think he's got, 4 or 5 different lines, so you actually have to reload and reload, and even then, sometimes on the reloads, he doesn't say his lines. It's almost like you have to exit the entire game and come back in to get his lines. But let's go back to here. So we got our stuff dropped. We have Top Doc. So what I'm going to do now is show what happens when you pick up the stuff with Marshal Quan, and hopefully we can see what happens when we drop them again and get Lucia Weston in. But I think once one character does the lines, it locks it out for the other characters. So again, for that quest, we needed the suture kit, injury kit, med pack. So pick one up at a time. Don't pick them all up at one time.
Parker'd be happy to see this. We've almost got everything the doc asked for. We've got everything the doc asked for. We should head back.
Okay. He actually has other lines, and I guess it's just completely random when he uses those. So, anyway, what we're going to do now is drop the items back on the ground, and we'll try to pick them up again later with Lucia in the group. But I think once the update happens on that quest, those lines are no longer available.
Ah, hello there. The name's Theodoric Curie. Theo for friends. I need to work on these gate hydraulics, but I always have time to answer some questions, if you're here to learn about our wall. I am the humble son of scientists. My mother and father were on a mission to pursue the possibility of cold fusion. Imagine, nuclear reactions at room temperatures making it safe for everyone. Sadly, they are gone, and my efforts to follow their work has been stymied by immediate dangers. Perhaps one day, I'll have the time to devote to such a monumental achievement again. It's simply your standard concrete barrier with Tesla-styled electrical deterrence. Not an absolute marvel of what could be done, but sufficient for the task of keeping out enemies. If we had oil to power the generators, you'd see the glorious effect of thousands of volts of electricity arcing across it, deterring would-be attackers from approaching. Such a pity. Believe me, I understand. Thank you for stopping by, and good luck out there. Back to the wall. Ah, hello again. Here to learn more about the Colorado Springs Wall? Believe me, I understand. Thank you for stopping by, and good luck out there. Back to the wall.
So we'll be hearing from him later on in the game. These two guards here. One of the very first quests we get when we enter Colorado, the world map, you'll have to make a choice on whether you help one group or another, and depending on that choice, if you help one group, these two guards, and maybe other guards, I just only noticed these two, they actually acquire some beefed up armor, and you can see it here.
Those Dorseys ain't coming through here again. Gotta stay focused. Don't want a repeat of the Dorsey bullshit. Patriarch built these walls with his own 2 hands. That's what they told us in school.
Did you see the Dorseys almost blow up the statue?
Yeah, I was hiding under the bookseller's stall. Marshall stopped him at the last second.
Wouldn't be Market Square without it.
So there's the big old statue of the Patriarch.
Is it true? The Dorseys are holed up in the Garden of the Gods?
Doc Parker's got a clinic set up at the Arapahoe Garage. He's helping anyone who's hurt.
Doc Parker's got a clinic set up at the Arapahoe Garage. He's helping anyone who's hurt.
You the Rangers? Sheriff Daisy's looking for you over at the Marshal's station. Cold and shitty day, ain't it? You the Rangers? Sheriff Daisy's looking for you over at the Marshal's station.
Is it true? The Dorseys are holed up in the Garden of the Gods?
Welcome to Mary Milkteeth's Morning After Mart. If you did some things last night that you wish you hadn't, I got you covered. I can clean you up, sober you up, cure your ills, and get you ready to face the new day. Or maybe you got banged up in the Dorsey raid. I can help with that too. What do you need? Just a simple humanitarian who saw a niche that needed filling. Now, are you buying or are you talking? Remedies for regret, children. Headache pills, hair of the dog, pills for the pox, pills for the pain, and first aid kits for those of you who might have started something you couldn't finish. All guaranteed to fill you with pep and put a spring in your step. What can I get you? You'll be back. Welcome back, children. Had another rough night? Here you go, children. Salvation is at hand.
So, voice actor on Mary Milkteeth. I think she did a good job there. But even though the voice acting was good, I just don't. The voice just annoys me. I don't know. I just didn't like her voice, but she did a good job at the lines.
Jesus, loaves and fishes, Christ! That's a bomb under my stall, ain't it?
Oh, shit, Taiwan. God, it is.
We best stay back.
God damn it! Where are the marshals?
They've got their hands full licking their wounds. You're gonna be waiting a while.
Back up slowly.
Aw, fish sticks. I'm gonna have to disarm that thing myself, ain't I?
Depends on how fond of your fingers you are, and your arms, and face, and...
Yeah, let's just keep waiting.
And the voice actor of this guy on the right did a good job. I really liked how he did his lines there.
Or Taiwan. It'll take the marshals hours to take care of this. Damn. I really need to buy a gun. Gotta be ready if the Dorseys come back.
I fixed a radiator once. Maybe I could defuse that mine.
Holy mackerel! Better stay back from my stall. Those goddamn Dorseys dropped a landmine under it.
So if you lie here and say you defuse the mine, they'll run up there and get killed by the mine. Yes, the first time I did it, I was like, that was hilarious. But yeah, it was pretty hilarious. They just absolutely get blown up by the mine. And you know, you don't really need to buy much of anything in this game when it comes to the opening. You know, consumables or armor or weapons. You can buy good weapons from her for the level. You don't really need to, but if you want the weapons, you need to keep her alive. But her being in the game, you're gonna miss some dialogue that she has, but it's, you know, you can lie to her and just kill her off here if you want to.
Heck no! That mine is right in front of my stock. Yeah, you and everybody else. Wish I could get these Flipper and Marshals to take care of the dang bomb under my stall. Oh, thank God. You'd be doing me a shell of a favor.
But we're gonna keep her alive. because we want the opportunity of getting a frag grenade here. And Marshal Kwan has failed us. Disappointing.
Wish I could get these Flipper and Marshals to take care of the dang bomb under my stall. Really? That's great news. Here's a little something for you. I'm back in business. Welcome to the freshly reopened Taiwan Jones's Emporium! We have every fin you need, just for the asking and, well, the paying. You didn't hear this from me, Franz, but word is there's still Dorseys all around the city waiting to jump innocents such as yourself. Be sure to stock up with me, yeah? Ah, you want to hear about the wide open seas, my trusty vessel, the wild waves crashing the shores? Well, sorry, chums. I'm just here to sell stuff. What would you like? I have no idea what you're talking about, Franz. Nope. No. Wish that I did, Franz. Born and raised in Colorado Springs. Me? I've never even seen a fish in my life. Wondrous creatures, I hear. Come back soon. Hey, you chums. Welcome to Taiwan Jones's Emporium. My store has every fin you're looking for. Dive on in.
She also has some unique lines later on depending on how you do certain quests, so actually you do miss all this dialogue, and you'll miss some extra dialogue if you kill her off there.
Sardinely.
So if you look down here, you know, she has decent weapons that you can get right there. You don't need to. I don't think it's necessary because as you level up, you'll outgrow these quickly, and based on how you do things, you probably won't ever need to come back and get any of this. But, you know, the option is there if you wanted to buy that and make things a little bit easier. Okay. If you had Lucia, if you came in from the opposite side and you picked up Lucia first, you will miss dialogue lines from Marshal Lipinski. So that's one of the main reasons I like coming this way first and picking up Lucia later, because you get to see all the default lines that he has before you have Lucia in the party.
I heard we had some new arrivals wash on in. Military types, they said. Can't really see the difference between you and the ordinary class of mercs.
Don't take that tone of voice with the Rangers, Lipinski.
Or what, Quan? You gonna arrest me? Fine, fine. What do you want? It's the Garden of the Gods. Rocks, experimental farms, and now those fucking Dorseys. Sheriff Daisy say so. Nope.
So Marshal Lipinski is very helpful.
No room for amateurs in this town. You hear? No room. No entry. So happens we got a different breed of scumbag in the garden right now. Dorseys are holed up in here, and no one is allowed to pass except with express consent of Sheriff Daisy. No one.
So this line is the exact same line you'll get if you clicked on the actual door.
No room for amateurs in this town. You hear? No room.
So even though it says I can lockpick it, I can't. When I click that in, it'll actually go back into the dialogue for Marshal Lipinski. So
sorry, pal. Club's closed till the city's secure. Boss said we're closed till further notice. Place is closed. Where I go once is to stand in the cold and make sure you know.
So you pick up a crafting item there. You'll need Brandy's diary, which we'll get soon. Alright, while we're here, we're gonna pick up some snowballs. At first, you're not gonna, this doesn't seem like a big deal, but these are one of the best things in the game because they apply a debuff to the enemy called Frozen, which kind of reduces their AP. So you get the regular snowballs, which are described as fluffy white projectiles, and we'll go in here and look at that. So early on in the game, like the very first fight, you got the yellow snowball, and this thing applies all kinds of stuff. And you know, I've never really found a use for these yet, like an actual true, like, okay, I would use these because it's like, okay, really beneficial. But the snowballs are very beneficial. So I put that on my brawler, and he'll be the one basically throwing multiple snowballs throughout fights until his brawling gets up to 10. And even when it gets up to 10, there are going to be times that I'm going to be throwing snowballs out with this guy. Give him that. What are we doing here? You. Fortunately, the snowballs don't melt. And yes, I will be using this many snowballs. So now you can pee on the snow and create the yellow ones. The reason I'm picking these up because there's a recipe later on that requires yellow snowballs, and I don't know if I ever actually completed that recipe, but I'll have these there ready for it when it does pop up. And who knows, maybe this time I'll throw some yellow snowballs just to see it. Alright, so snowballs gathered. Going here to get the default lines.
What's the matter with you? Don't you know the city's on lockdown? I'm not opening the door to nobody. Go away! Go away, or I'll call the marshals.
And that's Rosie Wong. Those are her default lines before you can actually go to Sans Lux and enter it. Don't go up here yet. This is a fight, so we're going to avoid that for now. Going back this way, Taiwan Jones, the voice actor, did a good job. I think they did an excellent job in reading their lines. And so did these two sets of NPCs. Whoever does the voice acting for the regular nightclub people, they did a good job too. And as far as Marshall Lipinski, yeah, I think he did a good job too. Overall, the voice acting in this game is rather impressive. There are some that are just really annoying, and some that just you can tell they didn't really do a good job at it. But most of them are very good.
Sorry, no admittance. Museum's closed. No entry by order of Sheriff Daisy.
You the Rangers? Sheriff Daisy's looking for you over at the Marshal Station. Can't talk. I'm on duty. You the Rangers? Sheriff Daisy's looking for you over at the Marshal Station.
How'd the Dorseys get into the city? Thought we were safe inside the walls. I hear the Dorseys took 100 families hostages. About time the rich folks suffered with the rest of us. I hear the Dorseys took 100 families hostages. About time the rich folks suffered with the rest of us.
Snap and Jimmy Bob's still standing. Dorseys or no Dorseys. You think a little raid would stop Snap and Jimmy Bob? No siree. Oh, hey! New faces? Let me know if you need to restock. I hear there's still some Dorseys in the city. That's snapping, Jimmy Bob, thank you. Not that much to tell. My dad was a trader, and a good one. And now I'm a trader, and a good one. Might seem boring to wandering muscle like yourself, but I like it. Oh, that's my prized possession. A genuine pre-apocalypse, fully functional microwave. I can cook up some truly gourmet delicacies with it. But the damn power got cut in the fighting. It'll take the city weeks to fix it. Sure thing. Hi, y'all. Name's Snappin' Jimmy Bob. I'm selling if you're buying. Let's make a deal. Let's.
Snickers. So it's good to check on this guy because he actually can sell some of the better weapon modding components. These are not the top ones, but if you check every so often, you can see specifically the scope and the underbarrel. He'll have some of the best that you can get. Voice actor on Jimmy Bob did a great job, and for some reason, you know, during that dialogue, I was reminded of the character Gomer Pyle, and it seemed a little bit like him. Now, moving forward up here, if you had Lucia Wesson in the group, and you were coming from this direction, she would come up and start speaking her lines right about here, and this set of NPCs will start speaking their lines at exactly the same time. So it's just poor programming by coming that way, and that's another one of the reasons why I come this way first, so to avoid that override of lines.
Gall darn it, Martha. Why else would I even keep a shotgun around if I don't use it?
Do you know who those outlaws are, Josiah? They're Dorseys! They won't be scared of a scrawny old man.
A scrawny old man with a shotgun? Hang on, I'm not that old.
Oh, Josiah, just put down the gun and let someone else handle this, all right?
Come out of there, you sons of bitches!
Josiah, come on! Don't provoke them!
But they're in my shop! They might ruin my stock!
Better they ruin your stock than your head, Josiah Cassidy. Don't you dare go inside.
I ain't afraid to use this gun, Martha. I ain't.
Well, you should be. You're the worst marksman I've ever seen.
That ain't true. What about our nephew, Chip?
Chip is 5 years old, Josiah, and he's still a better shot than you.
Can you see what they're doing in there? Maybe I can get a clear shot.
Damn it, Josiah, you keep away from that shop. Nothing in there worth dying over.
Well, what about my pride?
Especially not worth dying over. My husband's a damn stubborn fool.
Consarn it! You Dorsey peckerheads, get on out of there!
Hush up now, Josiah. You can't go in there alone. They'll kill you.
You think I can't handle myself? I've put down worse than these in my time.
Oh, since when? You've been a shopkeeper all your life. Will you help me talk some sense into this old fool? If he goes after those Dorseys, he'll get himself killed.
Some of those Dorsey bastards are hiding out in my shop. My shop! Finest clothing store in the whole dang town. So I'm going in after them. They're too busy. Besides, a man should be able to protect his own shop.
Thank you. Keep an old man from killing himself, will you?
Killing myself? Can't you pretend to have some faith in me, Martha? Especially in front of these soldier types? You do this, you'll get a nice discount at the shop. Assuming I still have a shop by the time it's all over. Well, go on then. Damn Dorseys are still in my shop.
I don't know why they chose this as the default line. It should have just been goodbye, because it doesn't make any sense.
Guess not. Don't need anybody's help anyway.
Because it makes it sound like you're not accepting the quest or, you know, going to help them by doing that line.
My husband's a damn stubborn fool. Please, try not to shoot up the shop too much. My husband's a damn stubborn fool. My husband's a damn stubborn fool. Josiah, for goodness sake. Please, try not to shoot up the shop too much. Please, try not to shoot up the shop too much. Please, try not to shoot up the shop too much. I sure hope you can get those Dorseys out of there.
Alright, voice actors for these two, superb. They did an excellent job. One of the better voice acting performances I see in the game, up to the point that I played. And there's the other component. course, we will meet Troy and Brandy later.
By order of the Patriarch, only authorized personnel are to pass this gate. An invitation from the head of a family or authorization from the Patriarch. Until you have that, the gate stays closed. The attack on the city has everyone nervous. Until that's all settled down, Patriarch's orders are in effect. Authorized business only. Broadmoor Heights and the Patriarch's Palace. Good day. Authorized personnel only. Good day. No one's allowed in there. Which word didn't you understand? Please, step away.
Okay, so no one's allowed in the room. This requires power to get into the next zone. So here's something that just does not make a bit of sense, right? Okay, so...
No one's allowed in there.
Alright.
Okay.
Obviously he doesn't want you in there, but if you just... go up here and melee attack this thing. No consequence at all. And you come in here, and there's the switch for the power to open that gate. So you can actually get into Broadmoor Heights. That's the garage door here. Broadmoor Heights is behind this. Before ever getting the invitation to get into Broadmoor Heights. Now, I don't know if that breaks anything, if you do it that way, or if there's actually any kind of different dialogue options. At one point, I'll, you know, if I play another game, another playthrough, I'll probably try to do that and see what happens just to see. But, you know, I was up to level 20 and I never came back and had the need to get into this room. So that door was locked the entire time, and it's like, well, you know, there's no consequence to breaking it in, so come in here and go ahead and get this large chest right off the bat. Okay, you know, it's not much, but it's basically free loot that was just sitting there unless you break down the door. They shouldn't have allowed you to smash that door down at all. Like, it should not have been an option. I guess later on, maybe if you decided you were going to kill every marshal here before getting accepted into Broadmoor Heights, I don't know what the power switch, why it was necessary to put that in there, because under most normal circumstances that you're playing, you're never going to need to touch that power switch to open that door unless it's much further in the game, and I just haven't gotten to that point yet. But yeah, break down the door with the melee attack, and that works on, you know, try that if you ever come to other spots where you might not have the skills or whatnot to get through it. You might be able to find another way around.
Extra, extra! Cowardly attack on Colorado Springs! Dozens killed by Dorsey thugs! Families taken hostage! Brave marshals stopped Dorsey's at Palace Gates! Patriarch alive and safe! Get your Colorado Patriot here, hot off the press! New in town? Did you hear about what happened? Sure has. Dorsey's got into the city, but nobody knows how. They started shooting up the place and killed a lot of people. Then they made a run at the Patriarch's palace. Oh, but they couldn't get inside. It took a while, but Sheriff Daisy and the marshals beat him back. Now they're holed up in the Garden of the Gods. Well, some of them, anyway. Others jumped in their trucks and ran for it. Just what I've been told. Back before I was born, they were the family that betrayed the Patriarch and tried to take charge of Colorado. The thing is, everybody thought they'd been dead for years. I mean, there's tons of stories about how the Patriarch wiped them all out.
So if you came in from the other side and went in and talked to Lucia, you found Sheriff Daisy, this option will not show up.
Oh, Marshal Station, right over there. You can't miss the pillories out front. Yep, I work for the Colorado Patriot, only newspaper left in America. We tell people what's happening in the city and what they should think about it.
Sound familiar? Most mainstream media today tell you what you should think about it, instead of you critically thinking for yourself.
Be careful. Might still be Dorsey's hiding out in the city. Extra, extra! Cowardly attack on Colorado Springs!
Faster, murderers!
You got business with McTavish? Come into the machine shop. If not, then fuck off.
At this point, you can go into the machine shop, but if you go into any zone at this point, if you zone out of here, the default setup of this zone changes and disappears. So you won't see the interactions of the Dorsey prisoners, you won't see the Colorado citizens' reactions. Austin Peace may still stand, I think he does, and so does his mother, but do not zone out at this point. There's still some stuff that you can see, so just to tell you know, just to see that.
A lot of folks were shot down in the street. Marshals cleaned up most of the bodies already.
Doc Parker's helping the wounded at the Arapaho Garage. He ain't turning anyone away.
Mom? Oh, sorry. Never mind. Why? What do you want? No, please, I just need you to go away. Please. I don't know. We were heading to Colorado Springs with a lot of other folks when we got separated. I hurried here as quick as I could after, but I ain't found her anywhere. I keep hoping. There was this smiling lady. She said she had some food, and I could take some back to my mom if I came with her. And next thing I know, she was gonna sell me. She put me in a cage. One of her men took me out of the cage to... I kicked him as hard as I could and ran. They didn't find me in the dark. And then I saw some refugees and tagged along. Stayed with them till I got here. Bye. Oh, you again. What do you want? Bye.
Okay, we'll meet Haley again later. You see the reference to the smiling lady. So when we were talking about the prisoner, to the prisoner in Ranger HQ, and he mentioned the smiling lady. So they're connected. And I alluded to something in that first video, I think. I don't know which episode it was in Ranger HQ, but about getting into the locked doors, the doors that require a key code. That's associated with Haley. So this is going to be one of the moral choices you're going to have to make in the game.
I hope you die slow!
Dorsey scum! How does it feel now?
Hope the cleanup crew gets here soon.
Bastards!
They're starting to reek.
Dorsey scum!
Hope the cleanup crew gets here soon. They're starting to reek.
How does it feel now?
I always get stuck with those shit
Murderers!
patrols, guarding a bunch of
I
dead
hope you die
Dorseys.
slow!
I always get stuck with the
Dorsey
shit
scum!
patrols, guarding
Dorsey
a bunch of
scum!
dead Dorseys.
How does it feel
I
now?
always get stuck with the shit patrols, guarding a bunch of dead
Bastards!
Dorseys. I always get stuck
Bastards!
with the shit patrols, guarding a bunch of
Bastards!
dead Dorseys. Rotten hell, Dorseys.
Murderers!
It's stupid how they do the random lines.
Payasos raided our farm. Scar collectors stole our daughter, and now the Dorseys.
We'll hear more about the Payasos later, and I think payaso is a Spanish for clowns.
God, I wish these people'd shut up and die quiet. God, I wish these people'd shut up and die quiet. These are some of the Dorsey bastards who attacked the city. Shouldn't have let themselves get caught. No shooting the prisoners, understand? These are some of the Dorsey bastards who attacked the city. Shouldn't have let themselves get caught. God, I wish these people'd shut up and die quiet. These are some of the Dorsey bastards who attacked the city. Shouldn't have let themselves get caught.
Murderers!
No mercy on your
Dorsey
souls,
scum!
Colorado.
This is exactly what those Dorsey bastards deserve.
Those Dorsey scum killed unarmed people.
I am staying here until they all freeze to death. Those Dorsey scum killed unarmed people.
They won't last long up there. A few hours at most.
This is exactly what those Dorsey bastards deserve. I am staying here until they all freeze to death.
Some of the refugees helped the Dorseys. Can you believe it?
Oh, they won't last long up there. A few hours at most. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Please, my son's not a Dorsey.
Deluge of
Let
blood
him
is
go.
coming for you all!
My son's done nothing wrong. Will someone please help my boy? Please, my son's not a Dorsey. Let him go.
You don't look like marshals. Do you work for the Patriarch? Then my boy needs your help. He's going to be executed. And they won't listen when I say he's no killer. Judge Watkins has sentenced my son to die. Austin is all I have left. Everyone else died on the plains. He's a good boy. He never hurt anyone. I'm sure of it. Please, maybe Watkins will listen to you. I don't even know why he was rounded up. He won't tell me. Says he's embarrassed. I know they caught him doing something wrong, but he says he never hurt anyone. If you talk to him, maybe he'll tell you what happened. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger than your mother. I know that much. Austin Pease, the skinny boy up on the platform. I can't imagine he killed anyone. We've seen enough death on our way out here. He never wanted to hurt anyone, ever. Our family escaped the wars in the East. Tried to make our way across the plains. My husband, my other son, my daughters, one by one, picked off and killed. Now it's just the two of us, and I'm gonna lose him too. Please, help my son. Whatever you can do to help my boy, I'd surely appreciate it. Please, help my son!
So we spared him. They gave him a trial, and I guess they decided to not put him on the pillories like everybody else. They just looked like they just killed him outright. Seems kind of odd with the game lore. It seems like they would have used the pillories, but they didn't. Okay, before talking to Austin, talk to Judge Watkins first.
Hey, Rangers! How'd you like that welcome party at the lake?
Cocky little bastard for being on the pillory, isn't he?
I hope you die slow!
We'll have our revenge. You ain't seen the last of us.
Howdy, Judge. How's your heart? Still colder than a well-digger's ass?
Marshal Quan, impertinent as ever, I see. Rangers, I am Magistrate Silas Watkins. I have heard of your arrival, partly from the confessions of the Dorsey Raiders. You'll be pleased to know that I sentenced them to death for their part in the attack on the city and your convoy.
Which reminds me, that Dorsey you requested stand trial? He was clearly guilty and sentenced to the pillories. A waste of my time. He did have this note, though, which you may find interesting.
They are the only instrument of justice we need. Serious offenders die by exposure. Sometimes I might grant a reprieve after frostbiters claim their extremities. Oh, to the contrary. It is more merciful than the punishments meted out by the mountain clans or the gangs of the plains. If we did any less, they would see our nation as weak. And in Colorado, weakness is death. As much as we might long for the world before the bombs, when justice was not so cruel, that is not the world we inhabit.
And let's be honest, Judge. You kind of like it too, don't you?
No, I do not. I only do what the law commands.
And since you're the law around here, I guess you're your own boss.
I follow principles set forth at the second founding of this city, as you know very well. Without our laws and the penalties to enforce them, we're no better than the Wastelanders. For some offenses, we have a work camp on the plains. I don't approve of their methods, but it's outside my jurisdiction. Minor infractions, like public drunkenness or disorderly conduct, are punished by a short stay in the sheriff's lockup. Proceed. Indeed. Death to Buchanan!
How does it feel now?
Death to the 100 stinking families!
This kid's going in the pillories next.
Rangers, what brings you here? A mother will say anything to save her child. If you want the truth, talk to the boy yourself. Indeed.
Okay, since we spared the Dorsey prisoner in Ranger HQ, and then they killed him anyway, we do get this lore piece of item, this lore book. So, this is the first time you hear of Nellius, and if you remember in some of the previous videos, you can actually get lines about Nellius from Marshal Kwan and Sergei Gretzky in Ranger HQ before you ever know what a Nellius might be. So, if you don't get this note, you still won't know anything about Nellius until later on.
No mercy on your souls, Colorado!
Death to Buchanan! Death to the 100 stinking families!
Death to Buchanan! Death to the 100 stinking families!
Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. Just got a lot on my mind. Made a real big mistake. See, the Plains gangs chased my mom and me off our land. We lost everything. Heard this was a place of God-fearing people and thought they'd do right by us. People here kept us out in the cold, letting us starve to death while they sat inside, warm and fed. Then the Dorseys came and gave me some food and some kindness and asked me to do some vandalism. I figured what was the harm? I never killed no one, but I did bust some windows. Marshals caught me doing it, and they said I was working with the Dorseys. Magistrate agreed, so here I am. Mom would have talked me out of it. I should have talked to her first. We were starving. No two ways about it. We were going to die. Dorsey's gave us food. I figured a few windows was a worthwhile trade for the bread and meat that saved our lives. Yep, reckon so. No, I was never no desperado. Don't rightly know why I let myself get caught up in this. But if I'm to die, I'd at least like to do that right. Gonna do that like a man. Magistrate tells me it's death. They're gonna strip me down and tie me to those things. And they're gonna let the cold do its work. I wonder if it'll hurt.
Wish I could tell you it won't, kid. But that'd be a lie.
Magistrate's a hard man. I wish I could believe it'd work. I'd do anything for someone who could get me free without hurting anybody in the process. Guess I don't have any money to give you, but I'd pay you back in hard work, if you'll have me. I'm used to hard work around the homestead, and I ain't too bad with a gun either. My folks made sure I could hunt and fight. I always dreamed of coming to the big city and being a newspaper man. You know, interviewing people, telling the truth about how things really are. Sure didn't turn out like I hoped. Nice talking to you.
This kid's going in the pillories next.
How can you be dead?
What?
Whatever you can do to help my boy, I'd surely appreciate it. Please, help my son!
Rangers, what brings you here? His crimes are still severe. He was part of the Dorsey uprising. He caused significant property damage. His actions diverted marshals from responding to reports of attacks, magnifying the harm the Dorseys were able to inflict. Argue a case, and I might show lenience. Mercy? I do not see the word in my law books. The Patriarch has charged me to dispense justice, not mercy.
Which is how it should be.
My concern cannot be for his mother. It can only be for the law. Regrettable, but he chose this path, not I. You wish to compensate the city and the owners of the damaged properties for their losses. I can facilitate that. That's the price in Colorado dollars. Understand that the law cannot wait until you have the means to pay. The boy will go to the pillory soon. His time is short. Proceed. Indeed.
Neelius
I
Dorsey
hope you die
lives.
slow.
He'll kill you all.
This kid's going in the pillories next.
Rangers, what brings you here? As I said, you can argue his case. Convince me to set him free, and I will do so. I am not certain you truly understand the Patriarch's justice, but your words ring true. Perhaps death is too severe a punishment. This is irregular, but it is within my powers to grant you full custody of Austin Peace. Any further infractions he may commit are the Ranger's responsibility. I would recommend keeping him out of trouble. You should inform the boy. Best he hears the good news from you. Rangers, what brings you here? Indeed.
Bastards!
No regret, no repentance.
How does it feel now?
Saw you talking to Watkins. You actually letting this kid go?
The deluge of blood is coming for you all.
Still here. Not looking forward to what comes next. What? Are you serious? You really saved my life and I get to be a ranger? Soon as they let me free, I'm going straight to your headquarters. I'll do whatever you need me to do. Clean guns, scrub toilets, you name it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks, Rangers. Can't wait to get out of here.
The deluge of blood is coming for you all!
Watkins must be going soft. I thought the kid was a corpsicle for sure.
We ain't gonna beg for our lives! We ain't weak like you!
You Rangers are heroes. I'm gonna tell everyone what you did for my son. Thank you. Thank you.
Death to Buchanans! Death to the 100 stinking families! We ain't gonna beg for our lives! We ain't weak like you! We'll have our revenge! You ain't seen the last of us! We'll have our revenge! You ain't seen the last of us!
Death to Buchanan! Death to the 100 stinking families!
Okay, so as far as voice acting goes, I think all of the voice actors in this whole area did very good. Silas Watkins, great voice acting. Emmeline P, great acting. Austin did great acting. Even the basic NPCs all around did very good jobs on all their voice acting. They did a good job in this game on all their voice acting. I'm really impressed with it. All right, so we are now at the point where we're going to meet Lucia Wesson, and we're going to stop this episode because it is over an hour long already. Let's see. So the Dorsey that we saved, we got the lore item off him. We saved Austin. When the zone gets reset, these prisoners will go away. All these, angry citizens will go away. Austin should show up next to his mother, and there will be some unique lines of dialogue there. So really didn't do anything at all in this episode other than NPC conversations, and it's already run about an hour long, maybe closer to an hour and 15 minutes. So yeah, wow. Okay, next episode we'll start with Lucia and do all the dialogue associated with the area surrounding this in the jail, and then we will actually do some fighting, I think, in the next episode. All right, I'll see you guys on the next. Later.